I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic book show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Action Comics number 975, the continuation of the Superman Reborn storyline. Who is the doppelganger Clark, and why was Superman's son John kidnapped? Well, let's all hop on in together and find out, shall we? So then, as we join the comic, Superman and Lois Lane have gone full-on Liam Neeson in Taken to try and get their son back. Or Hugh Jackman in Prisoners, if you prefer. Or Casey Affleck in Gone Baby Gone. Or Mark Wahlberg in The Lovely Bones. Wow, when you stop and think about it, there's a lot of movies about kidnapped children I could draw upon to make a reference. They hit up the doppelganger Clark's residence only to find out that it's really eerie. For one, it's incredibly clean, like no one human lives there, and all the food is nothing but candy, as if a 6-year-old did the shopping. Just for the record, my condo looks exactly the same, but not because I'm sinister or anything, just because I'm a dude who works on the internet. Eventually, our heroes do come face to face with doppelganger Clark, and the surprising thing about this, though, is that he's actually the one who feels insulted. Now, all throughout the lead up to this storyline, we got the feeling that this doppelganger Clark was not who he seemed to be, that he had memories that couldn't possibly have been his own. It's in this issue, little by little, the facade begins to strip away and reveal the true being that exists underneath. What's surprising, though, is that Doppel Clark uses his amazing power to take the form of a bunch of different Superman villains. You got your Lex Luthor, you got your Bizarro, you got your Brainiacs. Heck, even Mongol shows up, and all throughout it, this guy keeps yelling at Superman to say my name, say my name. Man, you know, you gotta feel bad for all of doppelganger Clark's neighbors right now. They hear a huge scuffle and some man just yelling say my name over and over again. Either a crime is taking place, or they figure Clark Kent decided to ditch the whole news media thing and finally take up making amateur porn. In the end, though, the doppelganger Clark is revealed to be, and this is truly a stroke of genius right here, it can't be understated, the real force behind all of these events turns out to be none other than Mr. Mixiel Spitlick, or Mixelplick, or just Mixie for short. A little imp from the 5th dimension with near godlike powers who has been bedeviling Superman since the Golden Age. Now, it used to be for a while there, Superman and Mixie had themselves a rhythm. Mixie would show up, would play a bunch of tricks and pranks, sometimes dangerous, sometimes not, and Superman would have to defeat him by getting to say his name Keltipsy-Zim backwards. Only something really bad happened to Mixie, which is why we haven't seen him for so long, and why Mixie is blaming Superman now for his suffering, so much to the point that he has stolen his son and vows to play the greatest game ever, by making people actively forget that his son existed at all. Now, that's the end of the first part of the story, but Action Comics number 975 is actually a double-length issue, and the second story is penned by the totally awesome Paul Dini, a man who was a huge fan of writing Mixie over on Superman the Animated Series. Basically, this story involves Mixie telling Jonathan Kent, his captive, what happened to him and why he's been missing for all this time. It seems that during one of his outings to the main Earth to try and mess with Superman, he was captured by the mysterious green-cloaked Mr. Oz. It would seem that Oz has some very long-term plans for the Man of Steel, and he wasn't going to allow a little 5th-dimensional imp to introduce so much chaos into Superman's life and possibly jeopardize his plan. And it's right around here the story takes one hell of an unexpected turn. You see, Mixie isn't scared of Oz. He knows that Superman will come and save him. I mean, he considers him a friend. They've been having their little back and forth since the Golden Age. But when years fly by with absolutely nothing, Mixie begins to lose hope. He begins to hate and resent Superman. It wasn't fun and games for the imp anymore. He actually truly began to plot his revenge against Superman. But first things first, he had to escape, and to do that, he ended up spamming Keltipsy-Zim. After all, if the power of the word was enough to banish him to his own dimension again, surely if he said it enough times, it could banish him from his prison, which it did. But Mr. Oz would not let up, so Mixie had to get clever. He used one of his most powerful spells to rewrite his mind to make himself believe that he truly was Clark Kent. This proving why he was able to pass all of Batman's lie detector tests, because even he didn't know who he was, and he only figured it out once he saw Superman again with his family. A family that, and this is the truly sad part here, Mixie always believed himself to be part of, because again, he's a 5th-dimensional being. He remembers all iterations of Superman, from the Golden Age to the cartoon to right right now, and Mixie was always there. I mean, after all, Superman saves everyone. Superman can do anything. He even saves the evil people, and yet Mixie feels left out and hurt because Superman didn't try and save him. This is why he's taken his son, and this is why he'll do everything in his power to hurt Superman now. So there you have it, everybody. Part 2 of the Superman Reborn storyline, and I gotta say, it was nothing short of excellent. On one hand, it looked absolutely amazing. We get to see the father side of Superman played up even more in this issue now that he fears for his son's safety and the lengths he'll be willing to go to rescue him. We re-establish Mixie in a huge way, making him a giant threat and also tying him into the greater storyline of DC Universe Rebirth and Mr. Oz. And if that's not enough, Dini goes out of his way to recontextualize the character of Mixie, turning him from a chaotic imp obsessed with fun to an actual tragic character. I know it still might be a little early to call, but if Superman Reborn keeps up this pace, it might very well become a modern-day Superman classic, and that's saying something considering how good Superman has been since DC Rebirth. And overall, I think I'd be doing this book a disservice if I gave it anything less than a 10 out of 10. This has everything in it that makes me want to read comics. Great use of continuity, great characterization, great emotional stakes. Yep, this one is a real winner. So there you go, everyone. Another week, another Superman comic, and a great one at that. If you want to catch up on this storyline or see any other videos I've done, please by all means check out what I got to offer on the channel. Also, if you're not already doing it, be sure to check me out on social media so you can always be up to date on when the newest video drops. I got Facebook, I got Twitter, I got Instagram, and you can find all of that down in the section below. Heck, if you like what I do and want exclusive content before anyone else while also helping me out along the way, why not become a patron? Even as much as $1 will get you access to some really cool stuff. So, until we meet again, everyone, I'm Cape Joel, and I will see you in the next video.